San Marino are back at Eurovision this year. They're sending Senhit with Superstar. It's her third time representing San Marino at Eurovision. Will it be third time lucky? Will she be getting a win? Let's review Eurovision. San Marino is back at Eurovision this year. They don't have the best track record. Even when they've sent here before and she's come with absolute bangers like Adrenalina, she still hasn't done as well as I think we would say she deserves to do. But she's back this year with another song, Superstar. What do you make of it, Jack?
Well, before we talk about Superstar, can we just Adrenalina? I still think is robbed. I think it came bottom five in the final. Absolutely robbed. Absolutely scandalous. It should have done way better. There is nothing. To this day, and I've been watching Eurovision for pushing 20 years now. At no point have I ever my brain physically melted in the way that it did when I first heard Adrenalina. Because San Marino, you say, has not got the best record. It's just that it was kind of mind blowing that they'd come up with anything that brilliant. So when you have that moment, and when you are a country like San Marino that does recycle its acts, there is always a risk in coming back. And it's very hard to top somehow landing Flow Rider and making it to the final for I think probably the third time ever for your country with with easily your country's best ever song, and this does not live up to it by any metric. That said, it is my guilty pleasure this year. That there is this, and there's one other song that I also is a bit of a guilty pleasure. I find myself not skipping it. And there's a lot of songs this year that are a lot more popular with the fandom and are a lot higher up in the bookies that I do skip. I'm just like, yeah, fine, next, next, next. If this comes on, if this my shuffle puts this on next, I will listen to it because there is something quite retro about it. I'm a big fan of sort of the future nostalgia era of music, that sort of disco but for the 2020s. Yeah, Annalisa's album a few years ago as well in Italy. That sort of 2020s disco is it sounds good in my ear. I love it. And this leans into it. So it's a genre of music that I'm not opposed to anyway. And I mean it's not the best song ever, but I do end up listening to it, and that must count for something. The Boy George issue though, I know there's been a lot of stick and a lot of debate over whether he should be there or will be there because there's a bit of a problematic history and a bit of some problematic contest comments. I think the whole debate is completely missing the point. And the point is, actually, he doesn't need to be on this because he only sings two lines, doesn't sing them particularly well. They're repeated, and actually, you could remove them, and the song would be just as fine. I think it really adds very, very little value. There's a lot of angst going into that for actually very, very little reward. So I think just don't bother having him. It won't be a loss. If he doesn't end up not turning up to Vienna, it's not going to be a particular loss. So yeah, the song is not setting the world on fire, but I don't skip it, and that counts for something.
Yeah, I agree. I think the whole Boy George issue, like, it's not like Flow Rider when we're all like gassing ourselves up, being like, "Oh my God, is Flow Rider going to come to Eurovision?" Like, if Boy George, like, it's not going to add shit to that song, really. Yeah, I agree. In my mind, like, as with a lot of the songs this year, none of them are really reinventing the wheel, but it's just a bop. And like, fair play to Senhit for kind of coming back again after kind of, the injustice that was Adrenalina to kind of come back again with another like girl bop. I'm just like, fair play to the girl. Yeah, I feel like this is the perfect like spin class song, and I mean that in a genuinely like positive way.
It's on my gym playlist. It is on the gym playlist. You're right.
It's just it's just so much fun, and you like her performances, you can just tell she's having a great time. Now, the one problem with San Marino is that their staging sometimes, often all the time, leaves quite a bit to be desired. So Michael, I am concerned for it there, but it is a lot of fun. I really hope for her sake that it does kind of better than Adrenalina. Um, and I think like this year, it kind of that type of music does it doesn't feel like there's as many competing for that kind of vibe this time around. So fingers crossed for Senhit. So she's going 13th in semi-final one. Is she getting through to the final? How will she do? What's your scoring?
So I'll start with my score. I'm going to give this a 6.5 out of 10 because, again, not reinventing the wheel, not the best song by Senhit at Eurovision, which is a bizarre thing to be saying, but it is fine. I don't skip it. It's a bop, and I will listen to it. I think it's massively underrated by the fandom. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 6.5. As I was saying in our review of Belgium, I think we're in a weird one with that first semi-final in that I think the 10 finalists are pretty much set. I could tell you who they are right now. Unfortunately, this isn't one of them. I think there are 10 songs that are just whether I prefer them or not is beside the point. There are 10 songs that stand a much stronger chance of going through than this one, which automatically means you're in a bit of trouble. So I don't think she's going to be doing another Adrenalina and sneaking through into the final. But come back again, Cinny. We've already had. I mean, you've been at Eurovision 3 times. You've had 4 entries because you had the pandemic cancelled one. If you come out one more time, you beat Valentina Monetta. Come on, Cinny. I believe in you.
Yeah, I kind of agree that it's probably not getting through. And I think that's a shame because it is very fun. And I do really enjoy it. I'm quite a big fan. I'd give it a 7.5.
Oh my God.
I know.
Deary me. When
Just
we
hit for
compile our long list of our ranking at the end of the year, this is going to be quite high.
yeah. And then it's gonna come like bottom in semi-final one. Hey ho. Um, so poor Sunit, we'll see how she gets on. I'm manifesting getting through to the final, but unfortunately I do think she will. Um, but yeah, that's it from this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified every time we upload new content. We're also in vodcast form. I actually don't think I'd heard that phrase before today, which
Have you not? Video podcast.
well
We're a
yeah, I know,
podcast now.
but I would just still call it a podcast with video. Hey ho, I'm a boomer. But that's it from this episode. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.